It may shock you to learn that since 2018, our birth rate has fallen by 24%. You need to be growing by at least 2.1% to be at replacement. I'm speaking to the most productively fertile generation. And by the response, I know it is a topic that is of serious interest, but bear with me. So we're down 24%. Surprisingly, but counterintuitively, there is a view that, well, that means, well, your education budget should be reduced. You don't have to worry about, funding all kinds of social services. But it means less people to support the pension system, which one day you will need a pension system to support you. It means less people available for the labor force. How are we going to grow? If you layer inefficient bureaucracy on a tightening labor pool, what is going to happen is that wages are going to go way up and productivity is going to go way down. It's a serious social issue that we face. So I am very happy when I hear Jamaicans who have migrated saying, you know what, I want to come back home. We need to stimulate a net return, a net gain of talent back into Jamaica.
Greetings once again, my Jamaican people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's episode, I'll be covering the issue about the current population decline in Jamaica. And recently, it has been noted that Jamaica is currently experiencing a significant demographic shift. And as of 2025-2026, we're getting to see that the total fertility rate in Jamaica has fallen from approximately 1.9 children per woman, which is way below the replacement level that is of 2.1 children required for a stable population. And with the current Prime Minister's remark, we're getting to see that this lack of children or this low birth rate in Jamaica, as described by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, is becoming a silent crisis in Jamaica. And in doing so, he is encouraging Jamaicans to actively take part in replenishing the country's population. And Jamaicans have actually reacted to it, sharing their ideas and thoughts with the Prime Minister, some in quite hilarious ways. Kindly watch the rest of this episode while I come with my commentaries at the end of it.
Look, I know some of the things that I'm saying challenge your outlook and how you see things. But we can't continue to see things the same way we have seen them for the last 50 years. They have not served us well. We need to have a different thinking. So we have to encourage Jamaicans overseas to come back here and help us to build here. One of the challenges, of course, they talk about the hospitals, the roads, but they do also talk about the frustrating bureaucracy. The good news is we are working to change the bureaucracy. Today is a critical step in that we are going to support you in a mindset shift, in a thinking that we must pursue efficiency in the same way as we pursue security or fiscal stability. We must pursue efficiency. Efficiency is a key driver for growth. And efficiency, it is more than technology. It is more than infrastructure. Efficiency is also culture. And for culture to change, you need a mind shift, a mindset shift. And hopefully today will be the start of a shift in mindset for the generation that is coming to take Jamaica to its destiny of a country that is prosperous, the place of choice to live, work, raise families, do business, and retire in paradise. Thank you.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is calling on Jamaicans living abroad to return to the island to help increase Jamaica's birth rate. And my simple answer to that outlandish request is,
fuck no.
I don't speak for everybody, but I know I speak for some. And granted, nowhere in this world is perfect. But what incentives, what benefits are there for us as well as the residents in Jamaica to create life in Jamaica? There are none. The cons outweigh the pros. It's simple maths. You're asking the wrong questions. How about you ask, why aren't Jamaican residents procreating? And I know you already know the answer, but I'll reiterate it for you. The people them nah make no money if they take care of themselves, much less them family. It's simple maths. And asking us that live abroad, that have become accustomed to certain luxuries when it comes to the healthcare, the banking system, the infrastructure, to return to Jamaica to help increase the birth rate, that is foolishness. That is foolishness. Address the issues in the country and see if that birth rate doesn't increase. Many of us living abroad, we don't want to be here. We do not want to be here. We would much rather be in Jamaica. But most of us are not willing to say, let us pack up our things and return to Jamaica because Andrew Holness needs us to increase the birth rate. It is not going to happen. It is not going to happen. My biggest fear when I come to go to Jamaica on vacation is to not get sick or end up in the hospital. Because due to how horrific those hospitals are, I would probably die the moment I step foot in one. Because that is not what I'm used to here. That is not what I'm used to here. And the fact of the matter is, nothing is being done about it. Nothing is being done about it. Fix the issues in the country, Andrew. Put in some work. And I guarantee a lot of us would happily migrate back to Jamaica. But asking us to return to Jamaica to help increase Jamaica's birth rate is foolishness. And 9 out of 10 of us are not doing it.
Our birth rate has fallen by 24%.
Andrew, so we nah breed, the woman them nah breed, but yet still the infrastructures and the hospitals and so many main healthcare is trash. Secondly, there's not much benefit because come on, enough people with the palm part, we are collect parts, and not everybody the palm part. And if few people may have the palm part, they don't know it. Sometimes they have to take months before they get their little money go to post office. Another thing again, there's no reward because as a breed, the man them gone. And then tell us, say, alright, choose better man. But then again, they do the man no longer and everything nice, everything, and when the people come in place, everything change. So there's so many single mother and women are so tired of being single mother now, so enough woman and they have the belly. There's no reward, so woman realize that there's no much reward in it anymore, and we're just tired and we're just fed up and we not breed and food expensive and baby pampers there kind of nobody now we're nappy again. So pampers are everybody I'm feeding there, everything there. Nobody can manage. We can't afford to breed another time here. So one time baby used to hold man, not again. As them breeder them gone. So, and there's no proper system to implement child support like in America. Jamaica now have no proper system to say, alright, if the man left in after just playing part. There's no proper system, so there's no reward. So Andrew, when you can fix up all of them something here and give you some more benefits for women for breed, so when you breed, you know, say, alright, we're gonna give you some food stamp and some money but every month, not even every month, every fortnight. You understand? Then maybe the women can consider, but no, nobody now breed. Who wanna tie off already? Who wanna depend birth control and who wanna name the belly? Right.
So guys, the other day Christopher Tufton said, no, I'm pregnant. Now Prime Minister Andrew Holness says there's a way that we can help. He said, the declined birth rate is very serious and it's a cause of concern because over time it could affect the country, the workforce, the economy, everything, right? So here what he proposes. Andrew Holness proposes migrants try to come back, back to their country and possibly have some babies. Yeah. He said you all can go back home and have some babies. So Andrew Holness, we're going to take care of them. We're going to take care of the baby them. Him can't really tell nobody what for the still. It's just an opinion or an advice or whatever. But we can't have Jamaica birth rate a decline still up on a serious note. We're too good out there in the world for nobody and just have old people in the next 50 years. We need younger people in the country. And he's saying, the younger people in Jamaica are migrating. So, therefore, they haven't even started life yet. Prime Minister, my advice, try to make the economy better. Try to make housing more affordable. Try to make food, groceries more affordable. Try to have better health care. try to have better education systems down there, a better education department. Just try. Maybe if these things are fixed, then one would consider going back home. But there's nothing really there to say, all right, I'm going to go back home now and start life, because where are the jobs? Anyways, have a happy Friday.
Instead of Jamaica, stop! It is now Jamaica start. Start having sex! Start having babies. That's what I'm trying to say. Start having babies. Is the economy getting any better? No. Are there any policies, any initiatives being put forth so that people that are having children have an easier financial time? Absolutely not. Well, not anything that is directly instigated. But guess what? Start having children. Start having children. God will provide, yes. But the lowering birth rate is definitely a problem now. It's something that we need to look into. It's something that we need to talk about. Yes, the birth rate is going on. It's important. Our workforce is going to get less people to support the economy, an aging population. It's all things come together for a bad economy. But we're going to have more baby and these things are not being put forth. So, Jamaica, start. Or is it Jamaica, stop? Jamaica, just put Jamaica in a neutral. Put Jamaica in a neutral. Thank you.
And in other news, Holness urges Diaspora to return home to address Jamaica's birth rate. Yo, this birth rate thing look like some serious something, You know what I foresee happening? I foresee the budget being read, like not this budget, but maybe next year budget being read, and goodies are in there for persons who are willing to get up and go and have a child. Like, for example, if you go and have a child, you will get $1 million, or something of that sort. Free health care for a certain amount of time or something. I feel like said there's going to be a package for persons who are willing to get up and go and have children. The more children you have, the better. Yeah. But things sometimes change, though, Like, them something away, you literally used to watch TV and say, and hear about, really. You don't really see them happening in front of you. You just hear about them in a different countries. But see what happen right now? You remember when we couldn't touch each other? Yo, as the people who were born in the the 19 maybe 70s to 90s and all of those stuff, we are amazed. Like a TV we used to watch them thing upon. But we've experienced so much throughout our limited life. Like, we don't reach now yet, I mean, me used to look upon 30 years old as being old and all of them something, but me 30. You see it? And it just feel pretty okay. But then, when you look upon what I've experienced, like, my children are going to have to sit and listen the exaggeration of all of these stories. When we start talking about COVID, you still can't say I wonder if you still can say that pan the internet. You still can say the C word, the big C. You remember when we'd have to, like switch it up and say pandemic and the big C and all of them something there? You still can't say it? I don't know. When my children them ready to hear all of them stories about the big C and the pandemic and how you did have to stay 10 feet apart, right? The earthquake Jamaica, remember that the earthquake there? I was probably there up a sovereign and I just see the car them just jump up so. You remember that? The hurricane where happened one day, yeah? And now the foreigner them get called. It's almost like you say, all right,
it look like say the people them were in charge, them can't do the thing. So I just go recruit the one them where the overseas and now. So the one them where the overseas and now I get recruited and them supposed to stand at attention. And say, sir, yes, sir. And just march. And go address the birth rate in Jamaica. This is just ridiculous, bro. Like, Jano.
So the government of Jamaica is urging Jamaicans that are abroad to come back to Jamaica to help with the birth rate. Because apparently the birth rate is extremely low. But also, literacy rate is also low. Everybody illiterate. The penny them can't read. The penny them can't read because the parents can't read. Bread is $700. We cannot afford to rent. We cannot afford to buy a house. You're paying NHT, but you're not get picked for the house. You're just not gonna get picked. It is what it is, right? The quality jobs. He says jobs are, and I'm saying he, but it's the government. All of them. They're saying jobs are here, but the quality of jobs. What jobs? Where? Hello? You have a lot of people right now who are unemployed and have been unemployed since and before Hurricane Melissa. I feel like wanting the birth rate to increase should not be a concern of yours right now. Shouldn't be a concern, especially because there is nothing in place. All right, so you're telling people abroad that they need to come back here to help with the birth rate. What am I come back to? You're asking them to leave their first world country, whichever first world country you are in, is asking you to leave it and come back here. Let me just also say, I did not listen to the recording of wherever he was or whatever speech he was giving. I did not listen to the recording, so I do not know the contents of the recording. I am only going off I'm only going off the caption on the photo, right? Regardless, I mean, I've seen clips and videos and whatever from the health minister and him urging us to have more children. And again, I ask and put them where? Because even if you're living with your family, what if you do have 10, 15 picnic academy in your family? You can't, there are no quality jobs, so it's not like you can work and take care of them. And then in the event that you become a single parent, it's just you cannot work or do not have a great job, and you still have to send these children to school and take care of them. There is no incentive for people to have children. So why would they have children? Adults can't read, and if adults can't read, it means children can't read. When is the government going to come up with a program, something, an intervention for the adults themselves who cannot read? And okay, maybe you can go and get a skill. But if you're not able to read and read fluently, how are you going to master that skill? How can you master a skill if you cannot read? But he wants you to have children. So people who've decided that who saw an opportunity to leave Jamaica for a better life, got the opportunity, they left. They're living their better life, or they're struggling, or they're trying to make ends meet regardless. They're in a first world country, so opportunities are not the same as here, right? They're over there and they're working and stuff like that. So them feel give up. Left whatever them have over there. Come out here, come bata. You have not increased jobs and its quality. You know, the job them no better. They're no better than they were 5 years ago. They're still the same. Look upon the condition of the road. Look upon the condition of the hospital. The hospital them. Hospitals don't have wheelchair. Hospitals don't have beds. When the people them sick, where them go? I feel like there's so many things that we can sort out before we get here. I'm so annoyed by this because I feel like there's so many things to address before we get here. What are you doing for the Jamaicans who are already here and don't have out them lot? What are you doing for them? There are children who are not in schools right now. There are children who from the pandemic not go back to school and still can't read. What are you doing? Why do you want us to have more children? when there is nothing in place. There's nothing right now that is benefiting us. All of the smart young people them we go college and ready to take over politics and cannot take it over because the old people them sit down in a politics same way. So even if them want to go in a politics and get a proper job in the government in order to take care of their children, let's talk about the schools. Let's talk about schools and the condition of the school them. And the teacher they not get enough pay. Make we talk about that. Let's talk about the boy pitney them. Because the literacy rate for the boys, they under with foot bottom. Let's talk about that. Let's see if we can start that out. How about come up with some type of I don't know, childcare program for those who have children? Like a government childcare program at these jobs. Yeah? Don't just urge private sector to implement this. Why don't you say it's mandatory? If whether you're private or not, you need to have a blah 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 to help people with their children. I feel like having and we see it in the movies all the time, and we see it in other developed countries where you're at work and there is like a floor in your building that so you can leave your child. What about that? How about extending paternity and maternity leave? Specifically maternity leave. How about extending that? Because it's 3 months, your company pays for 2 and you're just not get paid for the 3rd. Unless maybe you're in a government business. If you're working for a government business, I think it's 3 months and they pay for the 3 months. How about extending maternity leave? There's so many things. How about paying the nurses and stuff like that so they don't have to leave and go have children abroad? Nurses and doctors and stuff like that. How about paying them? Because I guess if you pay them and they have a livable wage and can afford house and healthcare in their life and everything and just afford bread that is $700, I feel like they would have more children. How about that? How about that? Again, before you urge Jamaicans abroad and Jamaicans living here to have more children, there are many things that you need to sort out before people can decide to have children. I should have my child, and when me they are hungry and only can afford mackerel and rice, can I call your office and ask them for money for food? In other countries, every month the government give the people them money for them picnic. What you do for we? It's just a question. It's just a small question. Also, skin bleaching. What are you guys doing to address that? Because I see children passing here every day and them skin whiter than white. What are we doing about that? The gun, the violence. What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, when are you going to start to tax the church? The churches should pay tax because I feel like those taxes could help us greatly as a nation. Again, there's so many things that I feel like the government can address before they urge Jamaicans to have more children. Because we don't have nowhere to put them. We don't have anywhere to put them. The job's not paying enough for us to take care of them. There is no point we have children, bring them here and we cannot have, that don't make no sense. It doesn't sound sensible to me. It's like you're buying a BMW and you work at a gift shop. How are you going to afford to maintain the BMW? That don't make no sense. That just don't make no sense. You're not going to be able to afford it. You're going to have to do things, live above your means, and do all of that in order to maintain the BMW. So it don't make no sense. You have adults right now who need sex education. You have adults right now who don't believe in even using a condom. There's so many things that we can address. The nation is dumb. You need to make the nation smarter before you can ask us to have more children. Be so for real. And not only that too, he only has 2. The Prime Minister only has 2 children, and there's so many other government people who only have 2 and they're not past 3. They've had their 2 and they've had their 1 and that's it. You have 1 and 2 we have passed that, but okay. And them rich and they're not having plenty. They're just not having plenty. We don't need to have no more. We have enough children in the country. Let's fix those. The children in the homes and stuff like that. Come on, man.
Well, before I continue, I will kindly request that you hit the like, subscribe, and the share button, as this will go a long way in supporting my channel. And in today's episode, as you've seen based on previous speech by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, we're getting to see that he's encouraging Jamaicans to come out or to come back home and help in replenishing the declining birth rate in the country. As you've noted from the previous reports, there have been a steady decline in the birth rate in Jamaica, and this has become a crisis that the country is currently facing, with some of the reasons mainly based on the social, economical, and the migratory factors related to the country being some of the most impactful reasons that have led to this massive decline in birth rates. Compared to the 1970s, whereby the average child per woman was 4.5, the current Jamaican child per woman is at average of 1.9, showing a massive decline in this, with the previous population being about, that is number of births per year, being about 65,000 in the 1970s, going by half to around 33,000, that is per year, in the 2000s. And this has become, or has raised flag among the Jamaican officials, as you've seen from the Prime Minister, and he's encouraging Jamaicans to come back home and reproduce in a move to replenish the current population. And in his speech, which has been highly misquoted by various individuals, he's talking about how in the recent or in the future Jamaica is getting to have a population whereby there will be more people depending on pension compared to the younger people who will be required to be working at that time. And this will again cause pressure to the retirement and pension services, which will not be good for the country. And actually, for the Jamaicans, as you've seen most of them reacting, some quite hilariously to this issue, you're getting to notice that there are some various reasons as to why most Jamaicans currently are not actively taking part in childbearing. And one of the major reasons, as you all know, is the housing crisis in Jamaica. Recently, you're getting to see that some of the Jamaicans are living into their 20s and 30s while they are still staying under their parents' roofs. And this comes amid the high cost of real estate and owning a house in Jamaica, whereby these young individuals simply can't afford to have the places of their own, and this hence prevents them from having their own families. Other than that, you're understanding again that the family culture has significantly shifted in Jamaica, with people now choosing quality over quantity. And this goes to show that most Jamaican families are preferring to have children that they can comfortably cater to. And that is from having families of 5 to 10 children. You're getting to see that the current population is actually preferring to have 1 or 2 children whom they prefer to take to private healthcare or private schools or even homeschooling as a way of giving them quality life compared to when these children will be many. And another reason that is currently pushing back Jamaicans from childbearing is the fact that the rising cost of living in Jamaica is quite discouraging for individuals who are planning to have children. And this has highly affected especially the young Jamaicans who are in their reproductive years, that is from the ages 20 to 35, as we are seeing most of them are choosing to shun, that is, childbearing due to the high cost of living, and also despite of the fact that there has been a significant decline in the unemployment rate in Jamaica. We're getting to see that most of these employed individuals are working on gigs and on contractual terms, and in doing so they still lack this stability that will enable them to settle in families, as they are not promised of paternal leave when they have families, or the paternal pays that comes with having family while actively working. And so this has made most of them to shun away from getting children in the country. And again, another major reason that has led to the massive decline in birth rate in Jamaica is the fact that Jamaica is one of the leading countries when it comes to immigration. And this massive brain drain has actually been a highly deciding factor, where we're getting to see that most men and women in their reproductive years, that is 20 to 25 years, are actually actively moving to other countries like the US, Canada, and the UK, where they're getting to settle there and finding a life for themselves. And this actually leaves a hollow in Jamaica, as these are the same individuals who are supposed to replace the declining population in Jamaica, and instead of doing so, they are going to other countries whereby they get to have families there and live the rest of their lives there. And this has actually caused negative impact back in Jamaica, as the rate at which the Jamaican population is being replenished has drastically declined. And again, another reason is the fact that more and more Jamaican women are becoming learned. They are going to school and they are choosing to pursue their education in their highly productive years. And that is, women mainly in their 20 to 35 years are choosing to get their degrees or further their education, and hence they end up skipping the childbearing period. And even if they begin having children, they tend to have lesser children. That is due to the advanced level of education and their decision of choosing quality over quantity when it comes to childbearing. And this again has had a very massive impact on the Jamaican population. Other than that, we're getting to see that more and more Jamaican women are having less faith in the Jamaican healthcare system. And this comes after the various horror stories that have been related to the maternal hospitals, where you've seen cases of numerous Jamaican women losing their kids, that is during the delivery process. And this has mostly happened in public amenities. And we're getting to see that more and more Jamaican women are choosing to have children when they are financially stable, so that they can go and have their children in private healthcare systems, getting away from the risk involved with childbearing in the public amenities. And lastly, again, we're getting to see that there has been a massive shift in the family culture in Jamaica, with more and more young people choosing to pursue their own interests rather than settling in families. And this has come after the penetration of education and after more and more of the young Jamaican population has become exposed to situations that have actually shown them that sacrificing for family in this kind or in these times compared to their parents is not beneficial as it was back then. And so these are some of the reasons as to why you're getting to see that the current Jamaican population has been stagnant for quite some time now, and there has been reported cases of decline that the current Jamaican government under the leadership of Prime Minister Holness is trying to address. Well, this again marks the end of this episode. Kindly don't forget to share your thoughts and ideas with me in the comment section. Thank you once again for watching to this end, and see you in the next one.